Hey guys, Ollie back at Momentum today, and today we are doing our next chapter in the Passat to the Nürburgring. So, since the last video, a lot of thought has gone into the Citroen C1 and the Passat, and unfortunately, I can't keep both. So, this is what is going to happen. The Citroen C1, we're not stopping the content on the C1 because we have started content, we're not just going to fob it off. When I'm home over the Christmas period, we're still going to do a clutch in it because I need to do a clutch to sell it anyway. I'm going to do the clutch. We're going to get the bodywork done. So I'll show you the before and after results of the bodywork, and any MOT work it needs, I will show on camera as well. So it will be a learning process for future because we're now going racing in the Passat. Pepe the Passat, which is what we're going to get onto in today's video. So what's the reasons for using the Passat? My main reason is, honestly, I prefer the engine in the Passat. The 1.8 turbo engine I really fancy that. And to have the chance of having a go at doing a cam belt for the channel as well, first time doing the cam belt, quite excites me. And the challenge of how the engine's set up in that also quite fascinates me. So that's the reason why I'm going for the Passat. And it's a comfier car to go Nürburgring in. It's faster, and I can use it for a day as a bit of a workhorse while I'm home, instead of wrecking the van. So that's the other reason. So since we're going to Nürburgring in the Passat, got me thinking, right, what do we actually need to do to go to Nürburgring? So I thought we should probably do some research into this, and I thought the best way to do that is go about it on a technical way. So what do I need to know about Nürburgring, inclines, corners to worry about, along with the cost of how much it's going to cost to do some laps, accommodation, fuel, because I can't imagine the Passat being that great on fuel. So we've got all of that to discuss in the video. So on screen now is the actual track of the Nürburgring, all the corners, all the straights, the old F1 circuit, and some figures down the side, but we will go into more detail on these figures further down. Some basic stuff you need for the Nürburgring: a valid driving licence. Got to take your V5 to the Nürburgring, and you've got to have proof of insurance to drive on the track there as well, which I thought was quite an interesting one. The proof of insurance and the V5, haven't heard that, but the driving license and that stuff makes sense. So there's part of the track we can see there. Other things that have got to be mentioned is the safety gear. Helmet's not mandatory, probably won't get one then. Quite a lot of that's probably not relevant, only the buying of the laps that we can see in there. Again, if you want to see these in details, guys, feel free to pause the video and have a proper look over. I don't want to bore you in the details for those who don't want to see. Obviously, rules: overtaking's on the right, and to overtake, you've got to indicate. That makes sense because obviously they drive on the right over there. And to avoid accidents, you're not allowed to stop on the track. Then below here, we've got the flags, which is pretty standard in the motorsport industry racing. 50 kilometers and 100 kilometers. Quite high speed, that actually surprised me, to be fair. But that's, so yeah, it's about 30 miles per hour on yellows. Obviously, there's basic stuff for track prepping. I've actually got access to a race simulator. My mate hasn't, so that's going to be on him. And then obviously there's stuff about instructors. We're not going to do that. We are just going to be central and wing it, because why not? After some basic research, this is the oftentimes we have for the Nürburgring. Again, quite long hours. I was quite surprised by this. But yeah, but again, it's summer. Like, you look in this picture, the view looks lovely. Good vision on track, so why not? Gives us time to choose the time of the day as well. Now, as you can see, if you have an accident here, replacing stuff is expensive. So this is why we cannot afford to crash at the Nürburgring, because it is money that I do not have to chuck away. And like I said, we want to prove we can do this on a budget. So yeah, let's try and have no crashes with that. But you can see, like, in the right of the screen here, come around corners there, I've seen multiple videos of people coming off there, running wide, just not knowing the limits of their car. Other things I've had to consider is looking into insurances. If you have a crash, driving the car there, covering if someone hits you, towing and recovery as well. Obviously, I haven't got any pictures of the Passat back up in Wales, but, you know, this is what we take to Nürburgring. There's some shots of AI generated, and I think it looks quite good going around the track, to be honest. So here's rough timings. It's going to take to get to Nürburgring as well. We're not going to do this all in one go, but we are going to try and get there within 2 days to get over with it. Other things we've got to consider is obviously the price to get over on the ferry, Eurotunnel, as well as the fuel when we get there. Hotels staying in, Ibis are quite cheap, guest house are a bit more expensive. We want to try and keep it as cheap as possible to prove we could do it on a budget. So Ibis looks quite promising. Again, look at the Passat from behind. Loads of room in this car. It's going to be a proper family wagon, but it's going to be quick. We've got the 1.8 engine. It's going to be quick. So this was some rough estimations I found, how much it's going to cost overall. It's not too bad. It's about what I expected. So yeah, the pricing was roughly what I was expecting. It's not horrendous, but it's not cheap, which is going against everything we've sort of said on the channel. But what that has proven to us is that everyday stuff isn't horrendous to get done for it. Like 30 euros a session, yeah, it's quite expensive for an hour, but there's a 20-mile track, and you can do that as fast or as slow as you like. So make your money while it's worth. If you really want to enjoy it, drive as slow as you like, as long as you're not being dangerous and going above the 37 miles per hour limit. Do you know what I mean? Again, we went over it quite briefly, but looking at the safety stuff, we might get a helmet. Probably will get a helmet, but there's more details about how if you've got a roll cage, it's got to have no sharp edges in it. I'm not going to have a roll cage in the Passat because it doesn't need a roll cage. We are going to still have it as the family wagon. We're not going to strip too much out of the Passat to go to Nürburgring apart from the rear interior. But ultimately, what this has proven so far, this is just the cost to go onto the event. So depending how you look at it is how expensive you're going to be. Yeah, you can do motorsport on a budget, but there's a lot more to it than just obviously to spend on the cars. So already there with hotels, fees and ferry, you're probably looking at €700, €800 so far. Comparing it to the actual car wise, so I have done some research of what needs to be done on the Passat. Cam belt's about £200 for a kit. It'll need new front brakes. We'll upgrade the brakes, front and rear, maybe the front. That again is probably going to be £150. I don't know yet if we're going to polybush the Passat like we was the C1 because it's a bigger car. It's something I need to do more research into because I don't know too much about it. I had it on the C1 and then obviously we got given the Passat and the situation changed. Another thing we've got to consider on the Passat is a service. That's going to be about £80 to service it as well. Luckily, we are saving money by doing the work ourselves, so we haven't got to pay labour. But like I said, just get the Passat going. We've probably have to spend £300-400 just to get the Passat right to go to the Nürburgring. We'll probably have to spend £300-400 just to get it right on the maintenance side of it. There's then going to probably be another £400-500 upgrading it, which is a lot of money. But in the long run for motorsports, it is quite cheap on a budget. And obviously, we're filming this in December. We're not going to June, so chipping in the money here and there with the savings from work at the bar, it's going to work quite well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this short video, guys. For our next video, we are going to do a technical breakdown. So I thought we'll do a part 2 for this video. We'll do a technical breakdown. Hopefully, we might be able to get some footage of a car on the simulator, of going into the corners, and we can properly learn it and analyze it back. But I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm at uni. I've got access to a simulator. I don't know about recording on it or whatever. And my mate who's coming, who is going to get revealed on the channel at some point, not giving anything away, but he will be getting involved on the channel because I'm going to make him. He needs to. He definitely needs to. He's a really good guy, and I think you guys like his content as well. But he hasn't got that, so we've also got to be somewhat careful of going into the Nürburgring, driving it, learning it, and also giving it a bit of welly to have a bit of fun as well. Anyway, guys, so in the next video, we're going to do a technical breakdown. We're going to look at the inclines of the track, the twist and the turn, what corners are easy, where people struggle, and maybe look at some footage on YouTube as well, see what we can manage. Anyway, guys, I hope that's not too long-winded and boring for you guys. If you like the content, stick around. We are building a community here at Rev Momentum. Anyone is welcome. We're trying to prove we can do motorsport on a budget. So anyone wants to get involved, get in contact. Hit us up on our Instagram page. Hit us up on TikTok. Any messages, any help you can give us a shout. And in a bit.